Hi, my name is Bashi, and today I'm going to go over valid palindrome. So what exactly is a palindrome? Well, they give us a definition right here. So let's go ahead and read it. A phrase is a palindrome if, after converting all uppercase letters into lowercase letters and removing all non-alphanumeric characters, it reads the same forwards and backwards. Alphanumeric characters include letters and numbers. So what do we have to do? What is our job? Well, if we're given a string called S, we have to return true if it is a palindrome, otherwise false. So, to recap, a palindrome is an alphanumeric sequence of characters. We ignore spaces and capitalization and any other special characters. So, let's take a look at the examples. Okay, example 1. A man, a plan, a canal, Panama. Is it a palindrome? Well, they say it's true, but how come? Well, if we remove all the spaces, right, and all the special characters that this string includes, right, we remove everything here, right, all non-alphanumeric characters. We're left with all this. We want to ignore capitalization, right? So all this will turn into the phrase down here. Now, how do we check if it's a palindrome? Well, I look on the leftmost side, right, and I look on the rightmost side. Do these letters match? Yes, so I continue inward, right? I look at the next character, M and another M. Do they match? Yes, so I continue. A and A, yes. N and N, yes. So I keep continuing inward, right? If they match, I want to continue inward. A and A, P and P, L, L, A, N, N, A, and last we have a C. I want you to note that if this C was not here, it would still be a palindrome. So if it's the middle character, it doesn't matter, right? As long as everything on the right side and everything on the left side matches, then the middle one doesn't matter. For all we care, it could have been a space or a special character. It would still be a palindrome. So because all the letters matched, we return true. Let's take a look at example 2. We remove all the spaces and all the special characters, and we don't care about capitalization. So this turns into this. We look at the leftmost and we look at the rightmost. Do they match? Yes. So we continue inward. Our left comes here and our right comes here, both A's. Continue inward. A C and a C. Continue inward. An E and an A. Well, E does not equal A, so this is not a palindrome, right? We return false. Let's look at example 3. We have a space. Well, after removing that space, right, because we don't care about space, we only care about alphanumeric characters, right? We have an empty string, right? If I write this empty string backwards, is it the same? Well, yes, so we return true. So let me erase some of this stuff here and bring out the code editor. All right, let's go ahead and write the code and at the same time walk through the explanation, okay? So the very first thing we're gonna do is receive a string called S, right? Now, this has some uppercase and some lowercase, right? We don't care about uppercase letters. We want to turn them all into lowercase letters. So let's go ahead and do that. We just say that S is equal to S dot to lower, right? So now S is all lowercase characters. So now every character that was uppercase gets turned into lowercase, right? The special characters and spaces are still in there, but every capital letter has now been turned into a lowercase letter. We want to start on the left side, and I want to compare on my right side, right? I want to see, are they the same? To do that, I need to access the character of this string. Now recall that a string is just an array. So this one is just S of 0. And this all the way at the very end is just S of S dot length, right? Because we want to see how much it is, minus the 1, right? Because we do start at 0. So we minus that 1. So this gets access to this very last character. And as we move forward inward, right, because That's what we said, we're going to move inward. These values are going to change, right, to access a different character in the string, right? So we could just say that S of something is on this side, right? Let's just call this L for left. And S of something else is on this side. So let's just call this right, right? And these variables will change, allowing us to access the next inward character. So let's go ahead and write that. I need an integer for left to access my string on the left side. I first initialize it to 0, right? Because I first want to be at the very beginning. I also need one for my right. And to access my rightmost character, I need to get the length of S minus 1, right? So now this is my left index and this is my right index. So we'll continue. Now I'm going to move my right index all the way inward, and I'm going to move my left index all the way inward as well, right? And I want to continue comparing those characters as long as my left is less than my right. If they equal each other, well, then that means that we hit a character in the middle. And remember, we don't care about the middle character. You could compare it, but it doesn't matter. So I'm going to come back to my code and say while left is less than right. Right? I want to keep comparing these characters. Now, if I run into a character that is not alphanumeric, I want to skip it. I want to ignore it, right? I want to pretend like it's not even there. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, well first I have to know what the character is, right? Because right now we just have indexes. So I need to get the character. The character on the left side, right? Let's just call it left character. Well, that's just S of my left index, right? So I access S and I give it the index left. That gives me my left character. That gives me, if in this case, in this example, it would give me A. I also need to do the same for my right. So on the right side, I would get my right character. And in this example, it would give me the A right here at the very end. So just like we did up here, right? S of L and S of right. Those will give me the individual characters that I need. Now I want to say if the character class has a function called isLetterOrDigit, and we give it a character, right? In this case, we're going to give it my left character. And this function right here will output true if it is a letter or a digit. Otherwise, it's a special character or a space or something that I don't care about, right? Otherwise, false, right? But I want to say, if it's not a letter or a digit, right? This exclamation mark negates it. If it's not a letter or a digit, well, I want to ignore it because it's a space or a special character, right? I don't care about it. I just want to ignore it. So I want to move my left index inward. I want to move it inward. And I want to continue. So let's say that there was 3 spaces all together, right? And my left pointer was pointing here. Well, it's not a letter or a digit, so I want to skip it. It moves here. It continues to here. Well, it's also not a letter or a digit, so it skips, moves here, right? And so on until we run into an alphanumeric character, right? Either a letter or a number, okay? We also want to do the same thing backwards, right? For my right. For my right, what if there's 3 special characters or 1 special character, 2? What if there's a number of special characters that I don't care about? I want to move my right pointer. So let's go ahead and do that. If my right character is not a letter or a digit, well, I want to move inward. I want to say right minus minus, right? I want to move my right pointer inward. I want to move it left. I also want to continue here. Now, what if we get past these 2, right? That means we have a letter or a number on my left side and a letter or a number on my right side, right? So what if they're not the same? If they're not the same, I want to return false. So I'm going to compare them. If my left character does not equal my right character, well then, this isn't a palindrome, so I just return false. If we get past this, that means they are the same. So, if you look at the example here, let's take a look at race car. If they are the same, R and R, I want to move inward, right? I want to move my right inward and I want to move my left inward to go to the next character and compare them, right? So, I want to move my left inward, which is just adding 1. And I want to move my right also inward, which is just taking away 1. So we were on the very outside, right? Now we move inward, my left and my right, and we do it all over again. And I want to continue this while left is less than right. And if we ever run into characters that are not the same, we automatically return false, okay? This ensures that we skip all the non-alphanumeric characters, right? Like spaces and special characters and whatnot. This ensures and checks to see that they're the same. If they're not the same, well, automatically return false because it's not a palindrome. If they are the same, go ahead and continue moving inward. If I make it out of the while loop, right? If I make it out of the while loop, that means that we never return false. Therefore, we never saw two characters that were not the same. So all characters were the same. So what do we do after we exit the while loop? Well, we just return true. So I'm going to get rid of this stuff. It looks like I have a capitalization error here, right? This has to match the capital C on this. Okay. So right now, I'm just going to take all of it, copy it. I'm going to go back to LeetCode. I'm going to go ahead and paste it in. I'm going to move this up. I'm going to go ahead and click run. Make sure we didn't make any mistakes here. All right, so no syntax errors. I'm going to go ahead and click submit. All right, and you can see that we passed all the cases. So I'm going to do the same for Python. I'm going to go ahead and move this to Python. I'm going to go ahead and paste it in. So for Python, looks a little simpler, but it's exactly the same thing. We get rid of all the capitalization. We start our index at 0 and our right index all the way to the right. We say keep doing this, keep comparing while left is less than right. Get the character on the left side, get the character on the right side. If the left character is not alphanumeric, well then skip it and continue. Same thing with the right. If the right is not alphanumeric, we'll go ahead and skip it and continue inward, right? Now, if we get past these two, we want to see if they do not match. If my left character is not equal to my right character, then return false, right? And then if they were equal, well, move my left inward and my right inward. If we get past all this and we never found a character that did not match, well, everything matched, so we return true. Let's go ahead and click run. Make sure the syntax is correct. All right, let's go ahead and submit. All right, and you can see that we passed all cases for this one too. And that's pretty much it. That concludes my video for Valid Palindrome. If you found the video helpful, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, go ahead and leave a comment down below. And that's it. Thank you for your time.